Hello and welcome everybody, and good morning to you all. Uh, Hope you're ready to dive into some new features in Lime CRM. And we call this webinar New Year, New Features. January has soon come to an end, but let's look at some new cool things that you could use in Lime CRM during the upcoming year. And there are some different goodies, and I hope you will find something that you could that could inspire you, something you could use in your own Lime CRM. And here to present today is me, Frederick Eriksson. I work as a product manager from the Lund office. Been with Lime for some time now. I used to work directly with customers in deliveries, in implementations of Lime CRM. But since some years back, I'm working with product management. And with me today, I have my colleague, Thomas.
Hey there, my name is Thomas Eketorp and I also work in product management next to Fredrik.
Great. So, what are we going to cover today? We will be looking at Lime BI and have a look at some new features that makes it easier to create dashboards, manage your dashboards. We're also going to dive into some maps and see how color pins can improve the experience and the knowledge that you can gain from looking at our maps in Lime CRM. After that, we will bring Excel into Lime and see what we can do together with those two things. We are also going to dive into standard actions, and don't let the name deceive you. Standard actions are actually very powerful, and Thomas will be showing how you can make your own workflows and smoothen up your processes within Lime CRM all by yourself if you're an admin. And then we're going to also have a look at something we call recently deleted. How to bring back dead objects that are buried back to life, basically. But let's start with Lime BI. And now I'm going to be assuming that you have some prior knowledge about Lime BI. If you don't, then try to follow along and try to think about which metrics and numbers in your CRM that you would like to visualize like this. And afterwards, we can happily assist you with setting you up with somebody that can really dive into Lime BI together with you to see what you can do in your Lime CRM. But as I said, now I will show some handy things that have been recently added that will make it easier and quicker to manage your dashboards. So let's dive into that. If I could find the quick one. Here we go. So I am in my Lime CRM application, and I will open Lime BI, which I will find down here if I have access to it. And what I'm going to do now is to create a new dashboard. Looks like somebody was a bit tired this morning. There we go. And I'm going to simply create a completely new dashboard. I have some questions I want to add on it. I made them before, and let's create the dashboard so I can now gather all the cool stuff on there. Webinar demo, let's call it that. So completely empty dashboard. Before I had to go in here and add all the questions and then drag and resize them and so on and so on. But there is a neat way now. You can add a new section, and there are some predefined templates. I'm going to add this one here, and then I simply can write a label, and then I can simply go through these and just replace them with a question I would like to have. For example, this one, and I know it's that one, and it's that one, and yeah, you get the drift. It's pretty simple to just get a good looking dashboard up in no time. And if I want to add more questions, I could simply keep on adding sections. For example, this one down here. I can, of course, remove the heading if I don't want a separate heading for that, and then just start replacing questions. Pretty nice, huh? I'm going to remove those. So let me go ahead and save that. Another cool thing is, of course, filtering. You know, you can add a filter on a complete dashboard, and then if you pick something there, maybe this office or this coworker only, then it will have an effect on all of the graphs at one simultaneously. So let's go ahead and add a filter. Click on filter, and what I want to do now is to filter on which office the responsible coworker belongs to. So these are all measurements on tickets, and all tickets, of course, has a responsible person, and I would like to filter on the office. I'm going to go with text here, and is, because I want to pick the exact office.
Fredrik, is it possible to zoom a bit so we get a bit bigger?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you.
Let's see, we can zoom using the. Is it
Thank you.
better like that? All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Of course, I want you all to see what I'm doing as well, not just believe in what I'm saying. So if you're used to Lime BI, then you know that you need to pick now on each of these questions, which column is it that is going to be changed by this filter or set by this filter. So that can be different from different questions. But the neat thing that has been added now is that if there is a match, an overlap, or a match between these different questions in which columns that are present there, then if I pick it on one, let's see what happens. So let's go for office and name. Boom. Then it's set on all of them at the same time. I can undo that if I would like to, but yeah. Now I only had to pick it once, and it's set everywhere. I can just hit done and save, and let's try it out. Let's see if we can pick some offices here. Helsinki, Krakow, Lund, Oslo, for example, and yeah, it's updated just like that. So it seems to work. Pretty fast way of adding a filter. So let's do another example. Let's say I have a big dashboard, a great one for ticketing information. A lot of information on this one. And I would like to try to see if I can rebuild it in some way, but I don't want to destroy this one. So I don't want to rebuild this exact one. I just want to create a new one. And now there is actually a very easy way to do that. You just hit duplicate, and you can say tickets. Let's call it webinar. And then I can also choose only to duplicate the dashboard, meaning that the actual cards on the dashboard, which all represents the questions will not be duplicated if I check this. Then they will just reference the same question, and that's fine by me because I just want to do a redesign this time. I don't want to play around with the questions. So I'm just going to duplicate the actual dashboard. There we go. Now we have a new dashboard looking exactly the same. Almost. Let me toggle the full width. There we go. But now I wanna change the stuff around, and maybe it's because I want to try to increase. Maybe have a really even bigger than this one dashboard, really huge dashboard with a lot of questions, and that may take some time to load all the data on. So if I split it up on 2 tabs, then I can have some questions here, some on the first tab. I don't need to load all of them at the same time. So let me go ahead and call this one KPIs and this one graphs. And I don't need to, add all the questions here, and then go here and remove the ones. Now instead, there is a new button here called Move to Tab. I can just simply move them, the ones that I want to move. So let's do that. And here we go. We have another one there. Now I moved all the number cards, and I could of course put this one up here and save. And now my dashboard looks like this. I have two tabs, just like that. And it's a duplicate, so I didn't destroy the other one. If I like this one, I can just simply start using that one instead. So that was it for Lime BI. Let's head over and have a look at the Maps feature in Lime CRM. And while Lime BI is about visualizing your data, of course, Maps is also about visualizing your data. Popular theme. But visualizing data is not just to make it look pretty, it's also to enable you to make smarter decisions and to get insights from your data that you have in your CRM that you can't really get those insights if you look at a table or just open cards. You need to look at it from different angles. It's something we really want to work with in Lime CRM to make it possible for you to see your data with different eyes. And one of those ways is to open up a map and simply see things plotted on a map. And what we've added now is a possibility to add what we call different views, meaning that you can have different ways of looking at, for example, tickets, like in this example, um, or on companies, for example, meaning that you can see different information out here, and you can categorize them as well and have different colors for the pins of the different categories. So let's head back to the demo application. Let's see what that looks like in theory. Let's head over to the company table, classic thing in Lime CRM. Everybody has a company table or a customer table, for that matter. They of course have addresses, and so we know where they are. Right now I'm looking at a filter called machine customers. I'm pretending to be a company here selling coffee machines and coffee and coffee services and mugs and all of that. And here I have a simple filter saying potential customers and prospects all alike who has either bought or interested in coffee machines. So that's a simple filter. I want to see where they are on a map. I find it up here where we have different views. You can view data in table, in a list, or on a map. And now I can see all the data from the filter with different colors depending on the relation. For example, active customers, prospects, not interested, and so on. I would like to dive into where do we have our prospects compared to our active customers. So let me go ahead and remove the other ones. Then I see prospects and active customers. You see that we don't have any prospects on the Danish market, for example, in this scenario. We have a few customers there. Maybe that's something we need to address, and so on. I can also have a look at customers, for example. So let's open my customers. And of course, all of them will be customers now when I'm looking at the relation we have to them. Let me change this instead and use another view. So these are the different views I was talking about. So let's say we want to look at the classification, for example. Okay, my customers, I'm looking at classification. I can see out here in the list that I have B customers, A, C, C, B, and so on. And now in the legend here, I will see those categories instead. I can also see that two haven't been categorized at all yet. Of course, if I want to make sure we have a classification on them, I can simply open them from here and set a classification if I would like to, if I know what they should be. And now, as I said, I see the A, C, B, and that is part of this view's configuration. We can have another view, so we can have the sales trend, for example. How does that look for my customers? Are they increasing, decreasing, steady? What's it like? And these have no trend, so I will remove those. For example, I can see that in Malmo, I have in the Malmo area, I have two customers with a decreasing trend. Maybe I should plan a visit to one of them. You can open it up and create a new to-do, for example. So these are just some examples of how you can view the company information with with a different pair of glasses every time, and get some insights and do some actual workflows based on that. And you can of course use the maps feature on tickets. You can show your properties if you're in the real estate industry. You can show your properties and maybe have the vacancy level, how much office space you have left to rent in different properties, and show that using green or red or yellow or something. But now it's been time for taking something that we all know very well and see how we can work with that in Lime CRM. So I'm going to hand over to Thomas.
Thank you, Fredrik. I'm sharing the same thing as you are, so I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. I'm going to talk a bit about something we call Excel templates. And for those of you who have been working in the desktop client for a long time, this has been a well-wished feature for a very long time. And with Excel templates, you can pull data straight from CRM into an Excel template. And instead of manually entering the deal name, the deal value, contact details, etc., they are automatically populated with so-called merge codes. And you can, of course, customize these to match your brand with logo, etc. And let's look a bit closer. So here I have a quote Excel template to the left and a deal card to the right. And I'm simply showing the quote here or the template to the left so you understand which thing we have in the background really. So you simply go to documents, create new, and if you've been working with Word templates, this is just the same. You're going to find your Excel templates right next to where you find your Word templates. And it takes some time to generate it. And there we have it. So now I'm going to open the actual file that was created from the template. And there we have it. And you see the merge codes to the left have been replaced with the actual value from the card in CRM. And this feature should be available to every one of you who's running both in on-prem if you have upgraded to the latest version and in our cloud. The next thing I want to talk about is something we call actions. You might even heard the word standard action. And this was something we introduced last year. And actions is about putting these buttons at the bottom of cards to create those shortcuts of workflows that you have. Maybe you want to here take a ticket, move the status on a ticket, assign me, or things like that. Often it's about updating or creating Lime objects that are related to where you are. So you can actually do this yourself. It's not hard. We encourage you and want you to do this. And today, let's have a look at what it looks like to create one of those buttons. And I'm going to be using somewhat advanced features, but I hope you feel it's not too advanced. And I want to start with a deal. And here I want to have a button which says follow up unquote. And that should generate to do for me. And I just want to create the to do quickly, just click the button and I'll get a follow up in 2 weeks time and no interaction. So it's really super easy. When I move to quote, I click that button, boom, I can go. For those of you who are admins, you can head into Lime administration. And this is, of course, a must if you want to be able to build these buttons. If you've never been here, I encourage you to go here since there is a lot of stuff you can configure and work through here. When I work here, I actually like to do it like this. So I have the web client on one side and I have the configuration on the left-hand side, since I don't need to restart this for everything I do here. So on the deal, I'm going to create a so-called promoted actions. Promoted actions end up here. Unpromoted actions, they end up here. Do not make everything a promoted action since that will create a lot of noise. But this time, I think we're fine having a promoted action. And here I'm going to select the create new, which is related up in the background. If I wanted to get this window to pop up where I can fill out more information, I would have gotten or selected open create new, and I would have gotten a new window where I can fill stuff out. But this time I'm just going to create new. Let's call it follow up quote, and something like a checkbox. I'm not going to add color since adding colors to everything creates a bit of noise in the client. So I'm going to keep colors to a minimum and just use them when I really, really need them. We're going to create a to-do and let's set some values. So the subject, we're going to set to something called a constant. And this means I can just always say follow up, unquote. And I should be the one getting it. So the coworker should be the logged in user. And this can be a bit tricky, but once you learn it, it's not hard, but you write these curly brackets, active user ID. And if you can't remember this, just hit the question sign, question mark, and you have a link straight to our documentation where you can read everything on how you create these formulas. And we also want to set the date. So I set the start time to a formula that is two weeks from now. And this is how you write that. And these are examples I copy pasted from our documentation, and so can you. And here we have it. And let's say I don't want to show it maybe when I'm simply in that stage, customer contact, and I don't want to show it when we have an agreement or so. So I can also say that the should only be visible when the status is 2 or 3. And you see if I go to quote, let's see, I saved it. Oh, I think maybe I clicked a bit too quickly. There we go. So you see configure to the left and you see it instantly to the right. And when I clicked it, I chose to have an interaction where I don't get a window or anything like that. It just creates the to-do in the background. And you see here in activities that line manager has a follow-up on quote schedule. And I can, of course, open that. So quick way to just create reminders for you by clicking a button. All right, and I'm gonna close the live admin part. And let's see if I can head back here. And the last thing I want to show is what we call recently deleted. If you have been using our desktop client, you're familiar with this feature. I think we call it the trash can in the desktop client. It's where things end up when you delete them. And when you delete something, they are not deleted. That's why it says recently deleted, and usually they stay in the so-called trash can for 30 days. If there's something you want to have longer or shorter, we can configure it for you. We also took the opportunity to improve this feature a lot when we added it to the web client. And the big difference you're going to see is that now all users can restore, which is mean pick up from the trash can what they have deleted. And we saw that most people want to restore something that they themselves have deleted. So normal users can't go in and restore something that someone else has deleted, and administrators can, of course, restore everything. And you're going to see the recently deleted right here. And me, being an admin, can't see everything. Let's see. I know I at least deleted some documents recently. And if I want to restore them from the trash can, I restore it, and I can click there to say, okay, which document did I actually restore? So I say, okay, oh no, this one should go back to the bin maybe. All right. And this feature is available to everyone in cloud who are running in our cloud, and it will be available in the next on-premise release for those of you who run Lime CRM on-premise. All right. So,
yeah.
Fredrik, do you want to take the summary?
Yeah, I can do that. So we have been looking at yeah, do you want to keep sharing? Maybe that's quicker.
Yeah.
So we have looked at Lime BI and seen some new handy little tools when you work with your dashboards and manage them. Then we took a look at color pins in maps and the concept of views, so you can have different information showing depending on what you want to see. Is it the relation with your customers, or is it the sales trend that you want to have a look at? Then we dived into Excel templates and see how you can use that if you have your advanced Excel quotation templates, for example. You can have them in Lime CRM now and let Lime fill in some data for you to save time. We took a look at standard actions, where you can do things that are more than just standard, and you can do it yourself. Is maybe the most important takeaway there. You can add those little buttons that really can help you in your processes and can really help you increase the quality of your sales reps or customer support persons work in their CRM to get more out of it. And then we also took a look at recently deleted. I deleted something by mistake, perhaps, and I want to just get it back. And that's very simple to do now, as Thomas demoed. If you have any questions, we will be keeping track of the questions channel here in the webinar, and of course, just reach out to us at Lime at any point.
There is one question, Fredrik, maybe you want to try answering. And how much much does Maps cost?
Mm-hmm. So Maps is an integration to Google, so we need a few hours to set it up and to make sure that we've connected to Google in a correct way and so on. You don't need to have a Google account for it. That's we will handle that part. And then there are actually two different ways to run maps. There is a free version where you have a limited amount of addresses that you can fetch coordinates for, because that's what we do when you want to show a list of companies. Then we fetch the coordinates for those addresses, and then we can show them on the map. And in the free version, there is a limited amount of addresses that you could fetch coordinates for. And then there is a paid version, and then the limit is a lot higher. So basically those two different options. I can also mention that in the free version, it's always the free version is showing the map on a card. So when you open a company card, for example, you would like to see their address not just by the classic postal address 1, postal address 2, postal city fields, and so on. Instead, see it on the map, and you can click directly in the map and open, if you're on your phone, for example, open Google Maps app and use the directions there. That is always the free version. So when I'm talking about the paid version, it's about downloading a large number of coordinates when you look at them, like I did now in the demo, where you look at a set of companies, not just one.
Okay.
But yeah, let us know if you're interested, and we'll make sure that somebody contacts you to help you out there.
Great. But that's it for now, I think. If you have any questions, stick around for a while and we'll try to answer them. And that's it.
All right. Have a nice day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in.